The Dershow.
If I were writing a constitution, I don't think I would put birthright citizenship in the Constitution. But let me read to you what the Constitution says, and then you can make your decision as to whether it applies. 14th Amendment, Section 1, all persons born, there's no ambiguity about that word, or naturalized, we're talking about those that were born or naturalized in the United States, and here's the critical clause, and, not or, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. Okay, so if you get what are invidiously called anchor babies, I don't like that term, but babies who were born in the United States, the parents who have no connection to the United States, tourists coming in to ski, and the woman goes into labor early and has a baby, the baby never spends more than a week in the United States, goes back to wherever, France or anywhere else, lives life as a French citizen, but then at age 60 decides, well, maybe I'd like to move to the United States. I'm a citizen. Should that person be a citizen? Of course not. Of course not. Now, what does the Constitution mean? And subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Well, generally, if you're born in the United States and you are a citizen, there are laws that subject you to its jurisdiction. Just by being a citizen, you can be sued. You can be subject to criminal penalties that you probably couldn't be subject to if you weren't a citizen. For example, only a citizen can commit treason. If you're not a citizen, you can commit crimes which are the equivalent of treason, but being a traitor to your country requires that you be part of that country. To run for the presidency of the United States, you have to have been born in the United States and be a citizen. Now, subject to the jurisdiction may, however, be subject to congressional change. I can imagine Congress passing a statute that says, look, if you're born in the United States, but you don't spend any time here and you've been out of the country for 25 years, you are no longer subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. I think Congress can pass that law because the Constitution doesn't define what it means to be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. I don't think a president can do that. I don't think a president can declare that a person who was born in the United States is no longer subject to its jurisdiction. Courts will ultimately decide that, but my best view, as somebody who studied the Constitution for a long time, is that at the very least it would take congressional legislation to make a person born in the United States a non-citizen by making that person not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. Without congressional resolution to that effect, or law to that effect, I just don't see. I'm a pretty clever lawyer. I've made won a lot of cases interpreting the Constitution and often interpreting it in ways that are not obvious. And, I would put my brain to it if President Trump called and asked me to. I think I'd have to call him back and say, sorry, Mr. President, I can't figure out a way around this one.